Market Thalaivas brought to you by Sundaram Alternates.
For the sake of the viewers, a lot of narratives are coming up of late because current volatility in the market is one day we see it at its peak, another day we are not really knowing where it's heading. What do you think, apart from the two qualities, an investor should be keenly looking at while making or starting a portfolio of his own before we do a deep dive on the quality versus value kind of discussion?
No, absolutely. But I'd like to substantiate my answers with a bit of data. Insights are one thing, data-backed insights are quite another. Okay. So if you look at uh, typically what happens is, and this is what has been proven historically, whenever the world comes out of a global crisis, be it 2000, be it the GFC, or even be it COVID, one of the factors which does extremely well is value. And usually value outperforms every other factor for a period of 24 to 36 months, more 18 to 24, but at times it has gone to 30, 32 months as well. And one of the reasons is there's a gush of money coming in, usually governments support by a variety of measures, and liquidity gets infused into the system. And we've seen that in 2000, 2008, 2020, which actually gets into far more beaten down stocks. And that is what rallies the entire value segment, if you will. But I'd like to put it this way, but from one global crisis to another, okay,
Mhm.
after the first 18 to 24 months, the remaining period, quality does play a very strong factor. So if you start analyzing returns from, say, a 2 year perspective or a 1 year perspective, the jury is out there in terms of what factor has done well and what has not. But if you
Mhm.
start analyzing it over a 5 year rolling return period, you see a far more predictability going more towards quality than any other factor. So these are the two things. This is the first thing, rather. The second thing is, uh, we talked about these factors. Okay, these factors actually come in from a parent index. So if I talk to you about a Nifty quality 30, Nifty 200 quality 30, it will be probably, you should understand that it is coming out of the Nifty 200 index. If I talk
Absolutely.
about a Nifty mid cap 50 quality index, it is coming out of Nifty mid cap 150.
Mhm.
Now, if you see these indices, juxtapose them with the parent indices, okay, over a longer period of time, some of these factors like quality actually outperform these parent indices quite significantly. Again, it depends on what market cap you're talking about. You will
Mhm.
typically find that if it's Nifty 50, value tends to do a little better, over a period of time than quality. And if you deep dive, you double click, you'll find that the answers are because market exploration in terms of price is
Mhm.
far more finer in the Nifty 50. Whereas if you go down the curve, the market exploration in terms of price becomes a little bit more ambiguous, which is why people tend to lean more towards quality factors while investing in those stocks.
Amazing. I could. Okay. So, Vikas, how does this correlate? I'm just trying to understand how does quality and value correlate with the other factors that is already there in the market, momentum, size, and all. So,
Hmm.
these two are the prime factors which I could understand that we are debating on. How do they correlate with all other factors together to make it happen in terms of an investor make it happen?
If you slice and dice the data, you will find that at different periods of time, different factors work. For example, over the last 12 months, apart from value, momentum
Mm-hmm.
has done extremely well. But over the last 2 to 3 months, momentum has slowed down. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're talking about size, then again, size has different slices of data which will support it, which will not support it. But why we
Mm-hmm.
focused on quality and value as two of the factors from the study point of view is primarily because A, they're the most discussed, and B, there is almost like a fanatic fan following for each
Mm-hmm.
of these factors. There are books written, there are people who espouse virtues about them. Okay, and if you go onto a social media platform like Twitter, you will find that there are some very strong comments which are made by the supporters of each of these factors. So we just picked up these two, said ki ye sabse zyada is happening, let's just discuss this, and that's exactly what has happened. Like I said, I can talk about the other factors as well, but this study which Sundaram Learning and Information Center has undertaken is primarily based on quality and value.